Do you keep a folder of all your goof up videos, and when can we see the bloopers? I played the fifth on that one. Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Lindsay Sewell, and I'm so excited and humbled to be making this video. I started this channel back in 2018, really just out of a desire to stop putting stuff on Facebook that went away after 24 hours. I was spending all this time creating videos and content that I really felt would help people I was so connected to, and 24 hours and it was gone. And I thought, well, what if I could just put it on YouTube? And when somebody asked me that question, I can point them to these videos. So that was the start of this channel back in 2018, and we've reached 1,000 subscribers because of you, and I'm so humbled and grateful to be able to be doing this Q&A today. So I went and I asked my audience on Facebook for questions they had about me and my life and my business, and I'm gonna answer those for you today, unscripted. So, first question is, what do you feel is more important, content creation or list promotion? Really good question. So, you really don't have anything to promote if you don't have a good piece of content. So I think you need to have at least one really good piece of content that you can deliver to somebody when they subscribe to your list, either a lead magnet or a video training or an audio, something that is valuable enough for them to give you their email. But once you have that piece of content, or you have that lead magnet, or you have that freebie, it really is about promoting far more than you feel comfortable with. So for instance, if you spend 20% of your time creating a really good piece of content, you should spend the other 80% doing the promotion. So really it is this 5-to-1 ratio where you want to be doing way more promotion than you think is comfortable, because people aren't seeing you everywhere. They're not seeing all your promotion, they're not seeing all your content, and you want to get it in front of them if you spent a lot of time working on it. All right, next question was, do you keep a folder of all your goof up videos? I am not showing the bloopers reel here, but perhaps down the road we'll do a whole video of blooper reels of all the ridiculous mess ups and terrible video angles and things that have happened over the years. Any YouTuber out there, you can feel me on this one. There is a lot of time and energy and effort that goes into creating a good video, and my editor knows that more than anyone. All right, next question. In relation to email marketing, how do you make the shift from being a consumer to being a successful writer of emails? I love this because I have a whole bunch of videos on this channel about starting your own email newsletter, how to build your own email list so that you can successfully grow your business in a very leveraged way over time. So I'll link to that playlist below. But the first step is going from being a consumer, because when we're consuming other people's emails and content and we don't understand what's triggering us to buy, we don't know then how to write the emails the other way around. So I would say the first step would be to start reading the emails in a more analytical way instead of just an entertainment way. Start looking at why certain sentences or paragraphs or phrases make you excited or make you want to buy the product that they're selling, watch the video that they're promoting, whatever it is that is the purpose of that email. How are they fashioning it? How are they styling it? And how are they communicating in a way that makes you want to take action? Because when you study the human psychology and human behavior, you're more able to then turn around and start to utilize that same kind of language that really creates that community, that curiosity, and then ultimately that cash flow for you and your business with email marketing. All right, how many days do you actually work on your business, and how many days a week? Ooh, and then how best do you leverage automation? Wow. Okay, so this one has really changed over time. When I first got started in my business, I was working a full-time job, and I was building my business very much part-time during the week, but then putting in hours and hours and hours on the weekend because I was trying to get it going, and I had a newborn baby at home. So once I was gone all day in my corporate job in the office and I came home and I saw my baby, I didn't want to just get to work. So I'd wait till the kids went to bed, and then I would work probably about 2 hours a night, Monday through Friday. But on the weekends, I would sometimes work, 6 to 8 hours a day on the weekends. Well, once I was able to get the business to a place where I could quit that full-time job, now I would say I probably work most days of the week at least a little bit, because I don't like to work all day. And when I'm feeling creative, I don't want to just say, oh, it's Sunday, so I'm not going to work on my business. In fact, Sunday is the day that I most love to sit down, relax, have a cup of coffee, and pull out my passion planner and map out the entire week. What are the videos I want to record that week? What are the trainings I want to attend? What are the non-negotiables, the appointments, and the activities for my kids? And I map out the entire week. And then I go into Monday feeling really good and organized. So I would say Monday through Friday, there's a couple days a week where I'll only work a few hours. And then on a day where I'm recording videos or I'm doing training or coaching, it's probably more like 5 or 6 hours. But overall, if I looked at the entire week, I would say probably about 20 hours a week in my business. And that's because some things like videos take a lot longer, but most of the income that I'm making is coming in from either affiliate marketing products that are recurring, leveraged systems like email marketing, where I send an email and the sales come in on their own, or other passive investments and income streams that I've created over the last 5 years. The next one is, are you well organized with your time? And if so, what do you do? I'm just gonna brag on myself a little bit here. I feel that I am very well organized with my time. Like I said, I have my planner that I am literally writing in each and every single week. I know exactly where I need to be and when, and what blocks of time are open in my day where I can do more creative things like writing scripts for videos and filming the videos. But I'm very, very detail oriented. I've always been that way and very well organized. So I know not to try to get too many things done in a certain day if I want to do them really well. So I've gotten very structured with my time. I also use tools like Trello that help me keep organized. So I've got multiple different types of Trello boards for communication with my virtual assistant and my video editor, for creating content. I plan out my content way in advance so that I can be working on the scripts ahead of time, so I'm not scrambling at the last minute, outside of this video since it's a Q&A. And I have all these different tools and resources in place, so I know when I'm posting content. I pre-schedule my content. So yes, I think I'm very, very organized. Now, the one area I think I could improve would be laundry. It's like a laundry tsunami in our house every single week, with 2 young girls and then a husband and my clothes and sheets and towels. There is no end to the amount of laundry. And if I could just get that more organized and under control, maybe I need to batch it all into one day. Maybe I need to do a load once per day. I don't know. Somebody needs to come and help me get organized in that area of my life. But in terms of business, lots of tools in place. And if you want to use, learn how to use Trello, I will link below. I have a video on Trello tutorials for you. It's been a complete game changer in my life. And I love that it has both an app for the phone and an app for your computer. So you can plan it all out during the week, but then you can pull things off your phone when you're on the run. If you forgot to post something or you just want to post it at a certain time and you know you won't be home, it's really, really an amazing tool. So we also have, do you prefer an all-in-one for email marketing and funnel building, or do you like to use two different platforms? Okay, so what I think is that you want to use the best platform for the job. So for instance, I really love using Aweber for my email autoresponder because it's free to your first 500 subscribers. So when you're new and you're just getting started, you don't really want something that's really complicated, that has a lot of, segmentation and bells and whistles, because you're gonna spend way too much money on that up front before your list is ever making you money. However, I believe that Aweber is not the best tool for creating beautiful landing pages. It also doesn't have somewhere where you can house your courses. So I really like to pick the best tool for the job. So for instance, for all of my lead magnets and funnels, I love to use MLSP. I've got a whole video on that I can put for you below. It looks like this. And it's why I love MLSP, why I use it for all my funnel builders, as well as for housing my courses and my checkout funnels. So everything works really seamlessly for somebody wanting to opt in to my email list and possibly purchase a product from me right there, because then the system will just unlock the product, they can take the payment, it ends up in my bank account. And then I can connect my Aweber autoresponder to that tool. So I would say I use two predominantly in my business, but if you have one that you love that does them all really well, then by all means go for that. But use the best tool for the job. Don't just use like a junky landing page because it comes with your free email autoresponder. That's not a good use of your time. Ooh, here's one I really like. Favorite social media platforms in order and why? Oh, love it. So I would say, hands down, my favorite is YouTube, which I don't really think is a social media platform. It's more of a search engine, but I love it because I feel like it allows me to be creative, to put out content that other people are obviously looking for, that I can help teach and train on. And it really, for me, gives me this sense of community when I have people respond back and say, oh, that tip was really helpful, it helped me do XYZ, or thank you so much for sharing that video. So YouTube, hands down, because you do the video once and it is out there and getting views and time after time after time. Now, my second would probably be Facebook, even though Facebook and I have a love-hate relationship. So Facebook falls into number 2 because I do love being able to communicate back and forth with people on Facebook. I love that you can chat in Messenger. I love seeing what's going on in my friends and my family's lives and the pictures. Love watching stories. And Facebook stories have worked really well for me in growing my business, growing my email list, getting leads, making sales, connecting with my community. I love that you can create Facebook groups over there and really have these specialized niches across the internet, but it's a love-hate relationship because I feel like Facebook sometimes takes over my life. The little notification button is always red on my phone because I go and I engage and I comment with people and then people respond. And so I feel like every day, it's like the last thing I have to do at the end of the day is like go through and make sure I didn't miss any comments. And sometimes I'm just tired and I don't feel like it. And I've come very, very close to being burned out on Facebook and just wanting to completely leave social media altogether. But I then come to my senses and realize how powerful it is for me with my community and building my business. And ultimately, I, put it at number 2. So I would say everything else is like way down the list. I'm really not that great on Instagram. I never really was that good of a photographer, and Instagram was all about creating these beautiful aesthetics, and I just didn't feel like filming my food or taking pictures of my food or whatever it was. And so I never really got it. And then even with Reels, it seemed like, I'm not funny enough and I'm not like silly enough, and I couldn't do the voiceovers. And that was kind of the same thing with TikTok. Like everybody got on there and they're dancing around, and I just really didn't feel like I was funny enough and couldn't compete, or, maybe it was imposter syndrome over on those other platforms. So everything else comes in like way down the list. LinkedIn, I just feel, is like full of weird people who try to pitch you on, you accept their connection and they immediately are in your LinkedIn inbox trying to pitch you on something. It's just very strange over there. I don't really get it at all. And a couple years ago, I deleted Twitter. Although after being in the PTYA YouTube Academy, I am considering getting back on Twitter because they've really, really inspired me to how many cool connections you can make over there if you're focused on the right people. And I think I just wasn't when I was over there a few years ago, and it just felt like a negative force in my life. So I may be getting back on Twitter. All right. Okay, when you were on Ray's show, is there anything that didn't show that you wish they had aired? So for those of you who are new to me, I was on a reality show for online marketers called Play to Win. I did not win the show, but I came in second out of all of the contestants. And so there was about 1,000 people who applied. They chose 40 of us, and then we had preliminaries, competition, and then finals. And I made it all the way to the finals and the final 3, and I came in second place, and I didn't win the grand prize. But that's not here nor there. Do I wish they had aired things that they didn't? Honestly, no. I was really pleasantly surprised with the production value. After I filmed the show, I had this cringe-worthy moment of, oh my gosh, I was just on a reality show. And when you're on a reality show, things come out of your mouth that you have no idea what you just said. And then you go, oh, I totally regret that, and I can't take it back because it's on film. And you don't have any control over the editing. So there were quite a few of those moments when I went, oh, I really hope that doesn't make it into the cut. And none of those truly cringeworthy moments made it into the cutting room floor. And then all of the contestants were joking afterwards, like, who will be portrayed as the villain? Because it's a reality show and somebody has to be portrayed as the villain. And I was really happy to find out that I was not the villain, but we definitely did have a villain. And so I feel like I lucked out in that scenario. I put myself out there on a reality show, which looking back, I'm thinking, what was I like? I must have been hallucinating when I decided to do that. That was completely crazy. I grew up as a super incredibly shy introvert, and it's taken me all these years just to get comfortable to be on camera and to even start a YouTube channel. And then I put myself on a reality show. Am I crazy? So it ended up being a really positive experience. I got to speak on stage at an event afterwards, talking about it. I've met some really incredible people that are my closest friends to this day, years later. So overall, no, there's nothing that they didn't show that I wish they had, and I feel like I got out relatively unscathed and with limited bruises and emotional damage from the whole event. Okay, so last question, and I love this. 2 copywriting or email books that you highly recommend for someone who wants to up their email game in 2022. So the first one, and I've said this before, would be this Email Players Schema book. Ben Sewell is an email copywriter that I think is probably one of the best I've ever read. You either love him or you hate him, and that's part of his brand and his vibe, but he gives you these incredible ideas on really how to speak to people in a way that will create that either attraction or repulsion, which is both are good, because you don't want lukewarm people on your list. You want people who are really hot and want to buy stuff for you, and you want the people who are really cold to leave. You don't want them to stick around. They're just bogging down your list. And he also teaches you that human psychology of what makes people tick, what's gonna make them wanna buy from you, what's gonna make them wanna move and buy now. The thing is the only way that you can get this book is if you subscribe to his Email Players newsletter, and you get this as a gift when you join the newsletter. But then you get the newsletter each and every single month, and it's really, really, really valuable information that I believe has increased my return on investment probably tenfold over the last few years that I've used it. Just these small tweaks that I've been able to make by using that have been incredibly powerful for my email copywriting. I would say then, what else? I think that anything, and this isn't really an email copywriting book, but anything by Seth Godin will help you understand marketing. And when you understand marketing, then getting good at email and copywriting is really just practice and repetition. So Seth Godin, reading the book, This is Marketing, or The Practice, or Permission Marketing, those books were all transformational for me in really understanding what is online marketing really about. Because I grew up and I was gonna be a music teacher for a long time. I didn't do that career. Then I, ended up in a corporate job working for a rail car company, like, trains. So when I wanted to start my own business online, I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know what made people tick. And reading those books by both Seth Godin and then Ben Sewell's newsletter really, really helped me to think differently. And I think that changed my marketing game very, very quickly and allowed me to start seeing big changes in my writing style and the quality of the content that I was putting out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed these questions, a little different type of a video. I want to say I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next video.